On my phone, I have my email. This is the Apple Mail app, right?
Right.
My Apple Mail is Gmail, but I have it set up using Apple Mail. How did I do this? We go to settings, opening up settings, hopefully. And I'm going to start at the very beginning, what we call home base. And I'm going to scroll down to mail. There's mail. It's under passwords. Go to mail, and you can see that my mail will use cellular data. Cellular data, you know, the cell towers on top of the telephone poles, that's AT&T, that's Verizon, that's T-Mobile. Those are the companies that I personally pay $200 to a month. I pay a lot of money to Verizon. That's my cellular data. It's turned on. So if I'm not in my house where I have Wi-Fi, I can get my email when I'm driving in my car or in the market or anywhere. That's because cellular data is turned on.
Should we turn cellular data off when we're at home and only use it on the road?
You don't need to do that because your phone defaults to Wi-Fi.
Okay.
When Wi-Fi is available. That's a good question. That's another standard setting. And when you buy a new phone, you know, Apple sets default settings up for you when they send you your new phone. That's one of the default settings.
Good to know.
To use Wi-Fi when available. Okay, so I have 3 email accounts that I get through my Apple Mail. Let's see what they are. I'm going to click on this little arrow. So I have iCloud, I have Gmail, and I have Comcast. I have 3 accounts that I can get through my Apple Mail. Now, let's say I wanted to add Gmail to this. I can kind of show you the steps. I have it written out in the notes. How you would do this is you would just go down to add an account. I'll tap on that. And then depending on which account you wanted, hopefully it's one of these. This other thing gets tricky. But if it's Google, you would click on Google. And you would say continue, because you have to. And you would put in your Gmail address here. And then you would click on next and you would put your password in, and that's it. Push. Oh, I think new data will be pushed to your iPhone from the server when possible. That means that that your phone will try to get your email from iCloud, from Gmail, and from Comcast, and that's called pushing.
You don't have you're not executing on that, right? You're not activated on that.
Oh, I am. It says pushes on.
Oh, okay. You're a green push. Okay, I don't know what I am now.
Yeah,
That's your screen. So I should turn that on.
It's yeah, you might as well. I mean,
oh, it is on. It's on. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. If it was off, you would only get your new emails when you hit a little button that said send and receive emails. This is the Apple App Store, right? I'm going to click on that. And I'm opening the App Store. If I wanted the Gmail app, I would go to search, click down here, tap on search. And then in this gray search box, I would say Gmail. And then hit search for that. Now, this is Google, and you can see this is an ad. So I already have this, but I don't, when you go to the App Store, don't necessarily click on the top thing, because this ad, this place here is paid for by Google. It's an advertisement. What's a better idea is to scroll down and find the exact app that you want. And this is it, my Gmail, email by Google. If you don't have it on your phone, this is how you would get it. Now I have it on my phone. So all it says is open. Okay, so here's our Apple Mail. And here are all my Google apps. I just have them together in a folder. And here they are. Now there's another app you can download from the App Store, and it's the Gmail app. And I don't use it very often, but I want to show it to you. The app I use for my email is Apple Mail, but there's the Gmail app. So I want to show you how this is set up. Here we are. So this is Gmail. And this is my little picture of my dog's nose. And here are all my emails. And if I wanted to start an email to someone, here is compose. I could click. It says I have 99 emails down here. And this, I think, is some kind of, this would be Google's FaceTime. So I could have a video face-to-face conversation with Tom if I wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. But what I want to show you is these 3 lines up here. Can everyone see them? They're called a hamburger. I mean, like 2 weeks ago, somebody said, oh yeah, that thing is called a hamburger. And this is how you control your Gmail from your Gmail app on the phone. Now, I want to show all this stuff to you because it directly applies to if you use Gmail on a computer. It's the same thing. So try to follow along. So I have in my Gmail, I have tabs, and what happens is if LL Bean sends me an email that says, we're having a big sale, you know, come and buy your flannel shirts now, you're going to save 25%. It's not going to come in my primary tab. It's going to come in my promotions. But if Facebook sends me a notification, it's not going to come to primary. It's going to come to social. So this is a really cool way that I love to organize my emails so that if I go to my primary email, which I'm going to click now, these are all my main emails. There's Amy, you know, and these are the emails that I really pay close attention to. I'm going to go back to the hamburger. Let's look in social. So we have Twitter, Reverb Nation, Facebook. These are all things that I don't really care about paying, you know, a lot of attention to. So going back to the hamburger here, promotions, I'll just show you. It's like, these are all people trying to sell stuff. And I'm going to go back here. And the one that you have to kind of pay attention to are updates, because sometimes you'll get an important thing that you, for example, there's my Wanna water bill. I want to make sure I pay that. So you can't just delete all of these updates. You have to kind of pay closer attention to them. Okay, so down here, let's go down here. So any email that I starred, remember I put a star on Wanna Comment. If I clicked on this star, the Wanna Comment would be there. These are the emails that I've starred for some reason. Okay, I'm going to go back to the hamburger. And so I have starred, I have emails I've snoozed. You can mark emails as important. These are the emails that I sent. I don't ever schedule emails. These are emails that I started and never sent. That's what drafts are. This is all mail. This is spam mail. And this is trash.
Janie, what if you don't want to put them in, identify something as important? I found when I started using Gmail recently that it threw things into important and I didn't choose those settings. I didn't make any settings actually. It just did it automatically.
By looking at the list that they put in as important, did the people who sent the email to you, did they mark it as important?
No, no.
You'd have to look at them and there might be some kind of algorithm. Well, let me see what it says.
It was just like it defaulted to doing that right from the time I
Okay.
started it.
Looking at my list of important, it looks like these are all people that I respond to right away. So there's an algorithm that goes through my email and keeps record of the emails that I am responding to.
Yeah, so it's doing it even with me, without me telling it, based on what it's seen me do.
Kind of scary, huh?
No, well, yeah, it's like
Yeah,
when you get
kinda
when you
scary.
get an ad for something you were looking for on the internet and it shows up over and over again. Yeah, got it.
It's kind
Janie,
of what's
what is
happening at
snooze?
Facebook. It's kind of what's happening with Facebook. You kind of tell your
Right.
phone something you like, and Facebook goes, "Oh, you're gonna like that. Okay, we'll get in touch with you."
Yeah, yeah. So as we go down, so these are pretty self-explanatory, right? All these things. Then
Janie,
if we
what is
go,
snoozed?
sorry,
Snoozed, what's that?
you can snooze an email. You can put an
Meaning
email
you
to
just,
sleep.
it comes back to you later on or something?
Yeah, I think so. I
you
never
set a time
snooze an
frame?
email.
Okay. Okay.
I had never used it, but I would imagine that you just like kind of like put it aside, I think. Now let's look at labels. Labels, think of labels as folders, kind of. Labels are just a little bit different. And so you are able to make a label, think about it, make a folder, and it might say recipes. And so if you get an email that has a good recipe, you could put it in a folder called recipes. It's pretty, I have my book group folder. So if I get, I'm not very organized in this way, but if I was a very organized person, all the emails I got from the people in my book group, I could put in here. Atheneum classes, all the emails that I got from people about the Atheneum classes, I could put in here. How do you make a new
Jamie,
label?
did they go in automatically,
No,
unlike Apple Mail where you have to drag it to the folder?
yeah, they do not go in automatically. If you wanted to start a new label, you would create a new label here. And the label name would be,
Recipes.
let's see, what would it be? Halloween. Halloween. Nothing in Halloween. So I could maybe open it, compose. Oh, it wants me to compose an email. I don't want to do that. But I do have a new, now I have a new label called Halloween. So if I wanted to add an email to Halloween, how would I do that? It's very easy to do it on a phone. Let's see. How would I do that? Okay. Okay, so I selected this and now I want to move it to Halloween. I have, oh, maybe, I think this is download. I think this is download. And if I, and these three dots, if I hit these three dots, nothing is happening here. But I think if I hit these three dots, I would get an option to move it into a label or a folder. And I'll show you how to do that on the computer. I know I can do that on the computer. Going back to the hamburger. What else? Oh,
Okay.
and then the last thing I want to show you is in settings. This is all much easier on a computer, but in data and privacy settings, and we really don't have time to go through all these things right now. Security. But these, for example, in security, you can tap on protect your account, and Google will take you step by step through checking on how your privacy settings are set up. Do you have two-step authentication turned on or turned off? Is there another phone number or another email that you can use to get into your account in case something happens and you can't? Things like that. The way this email is set up is the way most emails are set up. All emails have a way to organize their mail and have a settings place, and that is how Gmail works. Gmail, the thing that I like about this Gmail is that I do like the tabs. And you don't really have tabs when you're using Gmail through your Apple Mail. Now, what I want to show you now is I want to share my Gmail screen on my computer with you. This is my email. This is my Gmail in Safari. And here's my inbox. And this is exactly what it was on my phone. I have snooze, sent, drafts, categories. And then I have, you can't see these here, but I'm going to make this bigger. And you can see here are my labels that I made.
Why is it not set up with alphabetically? It looks like it isn't.
It is not. These are set up in the order that I made them.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Historical.
Yep. So this is where I would create a new label. This is where I could manage labels. This is my spam, my trash. If I wanted to put, let's see, here's my friend Peggy. I'm going to put this email into, I have a label here is I don't want to, now you can see I've checked it. Now it's not checked and now it's checked. When it's checked, it means that if I go to these three dots, I hope this shows up, I could mark it as unread, mark as important, add a star, filter, mute, forward as attachment. But there's another thing I can do. And if you have a mouse, and this is on a computer with a right-hand button, you can put your mouse over the email message and click on the right-hand button and you get, now, are you seeing this window here?
Yeah, yes.
Yep. Oh, good. Move to. So I can move Peggy Conway's email into Peggy's stuff right there. Now, if you don't have a mouse with a right button, you can use this finger. And what you do is you hold, let's say I'm going to move Man About Town to two updates. This is in Man About Town is, the website that Gene Mann started, and it gives information about town. And let's say right now it's coming into my primary, but I want to move it into my updates. What I would do is I would click on the box and I would take this finger and hold down Control on my keyboard and click on the email, and the same window opens up. And this is like right clicking. So I'm going to say that again because that's a pretty cool thing. So Man About Town is checked. I'm going to take this finger, hold it down on the control key on the keyboard and click on the email. And then I can move to I can move to one of my labels, or up here, I can move to a different tab right up on the top. And so I'm going to move this to updates. I'll do that one more time. So I want to move Man About Town to the updates tab. I'm going to say that my mouse doesn't have a right mouse button click. So I take this finger, hold down control, click on the email I want to move, and then I go up to the top where it says move to tab, and I'm going to move it to updates. Can everybody see updates here?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay,
yes.
updates. So now and then it says conversation move to updates. Do this for future messages from this. And I'm going to say yes. So now all of Man About Town's emails that get sent to me will be in my updates folder. Another thing that's very cool about this is social. This is like Reverb Nation, Facebook, Twitter. I never look at these things, and I want to delete them all at the same time. I want them all gone at once. This is probably the best feature of this. So how you do that, how you delete them all at once, is you come up to this little square here and you select all of them. And then you hit trash and they all go away. Promotions, same thing. I'm going to come up here, click on this. Now, my screen only has 100 promotions here. I have 174. So this here says select all 174 conversations and promotions. And I'm going to say, yep, select them all. All 174 conversations are selected. I'm going to hit the trash can. And it says, are you sure you want to do them all? And I say, yes. And they're all gone. And that is just brilliant to me. That's worth its weight in gold, to be able to get rid of all your junk at once. And if you're really on top of things and disciplined, more disciplined than me, you can go to inbox and go through your inbox. And if you find an email that you really don't care about, you don't want to keep getting, you can move that. I'm trying to find something that I don't want to get. There's nothing, but I could move any of these. Let's say Nantucket Current is really great, but you could click on it and then you could take your finger, hold down control, click on the email, and then move it to whichever tab you want. Social, promotions, updates. And in the long run, that's going to save you a lot of time, because if you want to delete all the junk at once, that's a great way to do it.
Jane, are you using an iOS system are you using an iPad to do this, or a Mac?
I am on a Mac, but
Yeah.
I am using a web browser.
Okay.
And so it should be the same on a PC or if you're in a web browser, it should look the same.
Yeah, so you're not using the app itself, for
No.
example, with it because other than my iPhone, I have all Windows-based devices otherwise.
And that should work exactly the way this is working.
So it would look the same.
It would look I've seen it on many PCs and it looks exactly the same.
Yeah, because you're, as you said, because you're in the website as opposed to using, for example, I use Outlook for my email. And my Gmail account is on the Outlook, and it looks very different than this.
Well, what you could do is you could go, what web browser do you use on your computer?
Edge, actually.
Okay, so if you went into Edge and you went up to the URL or the address bar and you typed in mail.google.com, you might have to sign in with your username and password, but it would look exactly